All right. Shalom, Yashala. Kol halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Waharakakodash Brakathum. I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Akyam pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Akwat that they're listening. What I have here on the screen, as you can see, is a young lady, Eve. I believe this video is like a few months old as well, but it's other like current ones. But this is still, it still fits the the lesson, But it says, who else feels like they don't get approached by men anymore? She's going to speak here shortly, but this is a thing that's been talked about, really for some years now. This ain't not like really no new phenomenon. It's just that a lot of these things have increased, man, due to what? Due to prophecy. See, prophecy is, it can't be compromised. You dig what I'm saying? So says the scriptures, man. Okay, prophecy cannot be compromised. So, you got your little, BS gender war, your little red pill, and you got your little, feminist side, the woke agenda, and got the MAGA, it's everything, it's really a right hand side and a left hand side, man. You really just got to look at it for what it is. But first and foremost, and ultimately, is what? It's prophecy, man. So you're seeing more and more women complain online about not finding suitable mates, and now it's even as much as so it's even going as far as men are just avoiding. So that's now that's become an issue, because a lot of women are like, well, men have become so avoidant, they don't even say hi, they don't even compliment, or and this is prevalent on social media. And I also hear this conversation in real life. It's not just on social media, because a lot of people like to say, oh, that's just on social media. Nah, this stuff really occurs, bro. Because little do people know, like, bruh, like some of these people, I'm gonna say this, but some of these people that be on social media, bro, they have friends and family. Guess what? Some of us are related to these people. Guess what? Brothers, we work. We touch grass. As they like to say. We touch grass in the modern world. Okay. These things are true. But granted, it is draining, and a lot of people who do you know um do overlook this is also a great mindset to have. Hey, if things are going good for you, and you don't if you don't align with this, these things, or can't relate, hey, and that's perfectly fine. It's just that, but these things are things that occur and that are occurring. It's not just on social media. But I'm gonna let the excerpt of this clip play, and then I'm gonna get some scripture.
So am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men? No, because I had to actually sit and think about this, and I had to ask myself, when is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely has me questioning myself. Like, am I not as attractive as I thought I am? Am I looking old? Am I intimidating? Like, what is it? So now I'm starting to realize that since men don't come up to me, I have to be the one to go up to them. And that makes me super nervous, because it's like, how do I know I'm not going to get rejected if you didn't come up to me in the first place and then I make the decision to go up to you? How do I know I won't face rejection? So can I get some tips and tricks, some advice on how to approach a man that I think is cute? Because I have no idea how to. Like, I'm scared, and I feel like I can only approach men if I'm drunk, which is not often.
Hey, and that's and that's that's the world we live in today, man. That is the world that we um living today. You have a lot of you have even more you have even more examples that I could use. But as we know it, the best examples to use is what? Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, man, prophecy. Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry hearted do sigh. Okay. So everybody's in a real on edge type of state of mind. You know, everybody is so, thrown off by how things are turning off or so like are turning out in this modern day world, but not realizing it's the will of the Heavenly Father, man. This is prophecy, because something as simple as that, as what the young lady was speaking on, it's like, bro, as a man, and then once upon a time being a boy, our tips was what? From our fathers, our uncles, our big brothers, our big cousins, man. That was our tip on how to interact with women, you know, or young ladies, when you were of age, as going through your phases and whatnot. But that was our tip. That was our tip. Hey, you do this and such, introduce yourself, approach the young lady, of course, be respectful and whatnot. And hey, and we were always what? We was always taught, hey, she say no, move on. And that's another thing. A lot of people are just out for clout now as well too. So that's why a lot of people, a lot of men, namely, are more reserved, more standoffish, And then of course, you got the whole red pill thing. Then you had the whole Me Too movement, that turned a lot of men off from approaching women. And really the roosters are coming home to roost due to prophecy, man. So all those things that we've seen over the years are the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, man. Okay. I'll reread verse 7 again. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry hearted do sigh. Okay, all the joy that Jake once had, or namely dealing with this lesson, all the joy that women had, the perks of and what and something else that's always mentioned is what the women's rights movements and so forth. The equal rights. And that was just pushed and kept pushed, and the 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 uh the independence thing, and so now the chickens are coming home to roost. You know. Verse 8, the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the heart ceaseth. Okay, now they're what? Now they're complaining about, of course, with the dating scene, how many, there's a growing number of men who they're good on marriage. And then also what? You have your nightlife. You have your courting process of women. And I had no idea. I'll be very honest, man. There's more women complaining they've never been on a date and they're in their 30s and their 40s, and they're coming out with all these analytics to show people, hey, this is really going on. But guess what, man? That's what happens when E tries to play the Most High as well too, man. E set up. E had all these agendas that were only to destroy the people, man. And now you have people crying online because they can't get approached, get a compliment, get a date, And then on the flip side, you see people who capitalize on that. So everything's a get back now. The whole, I was insecure when I was younger. I'm no longer the ugly duckling. So some of this stuff be confidence boosters. It is sometimes it comes off as very discouraging, man. But that's what happens in Babylon. Babylon means what? Confusion. So that's what happens in Babylon, man. You would think something so simple, if you found yourself attracted to a young lady, or if a young lady finds herself attracted to you, you know, it's, you just go from there. Everything continues to get weird because we're still here in this captivity, man. Okay? And it's going to continue, until the Lord comes back. First and foremost, until this place is destroyed, and then we get back to how the Lord intended it to be. Okay? Because all that crime really ain't going, you go in the comment section, or it's going, it's going to be okay when Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is back and everybody's in order, man. Okay? That's initially what's going to happen is when Yahweh Shah is back at the focal point, because everybody's putting themselves on this pedestal only to get humbled by the Most High as well, man. Everybody feel they're so goddamn important. The Lord is showing you otherwise. Okay? So let me read verse 8 again. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. Okay? Nobody's like real has that glee, that glow, that joy about them, Jake be trying to hold on, Jake still, and these women as well, everybody, is always out, everything is party now. Like, that's like a heavy vibration, which is nothing wrong with enjoying yourself, but that's just a heavy vibration. Why? Because everybody is jaded, man. You're jaded with work. You're not happy at home. Okay, you're not happy how things are just going out in the just in life. Verse 9: they shall not drink wine with the song; strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. People don't even really access that. Like, bro, usually when you're not having the best of your days, of course, me personally, I'm gonna say, hey, you just really need to sit down and reflect. A strong drink isn't always the answer, but it's understandable. But don't, have that as your, first and foremost, our comfort should come from Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, man. Yahweh Bashim Shah. So our comfort should come from that, not no bottle and not no other vice, because it's only a temporary healing agent. People are really, really, really through, man. Just a high level of depression, whether it's being diagnosed or not. A lot of people, hell, you don't even need no physician's diagnosis on depression, bro. People are just depressed because everything is out of order. Okay. Let me continue reading. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up and no man may come in. Okay, so everybody is everybody is now, so jaded. They're very guarded. They're very guarded because a lot of people see where this place is going. So a lot of people are very guarded, and then a lot of people are coming to the realization, like, damn, I do need community. I do need friends. I do need a husband. I do need a wife. I would love a legacy. I would love children. But it's also the will of Yahweh Bashim Shah. But this place is done, man. This place is done. Let me read verse 10 again. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. So people are like, man, people are really like seeing like how the promotion of selfishness, because like self-care and self-love, bro, you could still be a compassionate and empathetic kind person. This society has only taught you me, take, and not give. And now people are getting back what they put in. You being an asshole in this world, guess what? You're going to get asshole results, man. Okay? So all these people, and guess what? It's some so-called decent people out here who are just going to be casualties of war. You know, and it's jacked up, but hey, it's life, and it's the will of Yahweh Bashim Yashah. So there's a lot of people that are just going to be casualties of war. Okay, and let me go back up, man. Verse 9 again. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Okay, because I made another point, and the point I want to also make is that when people go out now, like, bro, my intent, if I'm out, hey, I'm on um I'm on chill mode, man. Very aware, but on chill mode. The term, let your hair down. That's what I go there for. I don't go for any conflict. I don't go to mean mug dudes. I don't go to being an adulterous piece of shit. You know? Go there, mind my business, have me a little strong drink, may interact with some people, may not, you know. But some people, let their emotions overtake them when it comes to that drink and act a goddamn fool. Like, and that's another reason why a lot of things are how they are, is because a lot of people are just not able to control themselves. The demons are getting the best of them. A lot of people, so verse 10 again, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. Okay. So a lot of people are just closed off, you know, to themselves. Um, and it's just going to be that way. Verse 11, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Okay. So the land has no more mirth, to really desire, even though people are, they're going to continue to hold on to it until the Lord says otherwise, man. People are really, and which is, understandable because Jake knows, man, especially you Israelites out there, man. You sit there and fell for Esau's tricks. You fell for the semantics. You fell for the way the his way of thinking was better than the natural way that the Lord set it up to be. You thought the ice was colder. You thought the grass was greener, man. But turns out everybody got a raw deal. Okay, everybody got screwed with no Vaseline. That's why this place has to go. But the Lord is doing this in such a beautiful, spiritual, prophetic fashion. Is because he can. He exists, and he can do that. Okay? Let me read verse 11 again. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Okay? So all the clubs are shutting down. Particular staples and cities and neighborhoods are shutting down. A lot of people aren't able to conduct business. Why? Hey, people aren't going out. You got Trump with his tariffs. You got inflation. When you had the pandemic, that changed the dynamic between men and women as well. See, all these things that the Lord has been setting up, just know it plays a role in prophecy, from the Me Too movement to the pandemic, okay, to inflation, to tariffs. It's like you can't have one without the other, because what? A false balance is an abomination to the Most High. So don't think one without the other isn't going to happen. Lord don't work like that. Okay. So it's getting bad out here, and just on the marriage dynamic, bear me, Baba Kwashama, get Romans. Just on the marriage dynamic, a lot of now you have a lot of women like, man, I got lied to as a young woman, told me to go after my career, this and that and so forth, and now they having hell. And then on the flip side, you had a lot of dudes, out there who did women dirty, and trying to now look for something, and hey, the Lord ain't missing them either, man. You out here, you out here being an asshole, you're going to get asshole results. Okay, this is Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Okay, a lot of people started what? Idol worshiping themselves, putting themselves on a pedestal. Oh, I know my worth. Okay, it's fine to know your worth, but when your worth is as if though you're like you it, like nah, not neither. I'm saying be confident. Okay, be meek, be humble, and be confident. You know, but people, really really took that I know my worth all the way to I know I'm depressed as hell now. You know, you got people, you got women in literal tears, going to, coming back, reaction videos and, I went out by myself and nobody said nothing, this and that and so forth. Hey, prophecy. That's, that's all I got to say. People can get mad at the dating apps. People can get mad at the internet. People can get mad at the podcast. Okay. Overall, it is Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. It is prophecy. Ain't no getting around that. Okay. This is verse 26. For this cause, the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. Okay. Now you have what? This heavy thing with polyamorous, and then of course you had what? The Netflix and chill, the hookup culture, and people are just, people have become very, over sexualized. Everything is hypersexual. It's just like, it's just too much, it's just too much, man. And so now at this point, it's like, like, what did y'all think was going to come from that, man? What did you think was going to come from it? Let me continue reading. Let me start over. For this cause, the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Okay? So your polyamorous, your alphabet crew, okay? The whole Rainbow Coalition thing, so you got that going on, and people are like so shocked. Well, I can't. Hey, like, what did y'all think was gonna happen, man? And when you read, and this is a beautiful chapter to read, by the way, which all the chapters are beautiful, the whole book, right? But this particular chapter is about exalting the Most High, and the Most High is not exalted in this place. So guess what? You ain't gonna have no success like that. Okay, you ain't gonna. The Lord is crumbling and humbling this place, man. And call Halal Yahweh Shem Yahshua for that, man. For you proud ass women and for you proud ass niggas out there, man. You thought you had it all. You thought you know it all. Now the Lord about to show it all. Verse 27. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly. Okay? Just like I explained in the verse before. The whole pride thing, the alphabet, committee. You have all this going on now, and hey, like, only in Babylon. Only in Babylon. And then once scriptures are mentioned, because and if you notice, when particular scriptures are mentioned, or just the scriptures within itself, everybody, Jake, get the little stank face and rolling eyes. Man, anybody trying to hear that Bible, man? That was written by men. It was written over 2,000 years ago. Here it is, your big dumbass crying on the internet, though. You're crying on apps. It's just like, man, hey, the joy I do got is from the Most High, man, and the brotherhood. I have things that, make me happy, but those are the two important is really, I just, it's the Most High and the fellowship, man. and the body, bro. And that's key. And what? That's clown. That's looked down upon. Oh, y'all niggas lame, this and that, this and that. But here it is. People online crying for engagement. People looking for clout. You know, people are losing it, man. You know, you got, and you got even, younger, younger adults, committing suicide, man, because they don't have friends and so forth, man. Let me continue reading. Men with men working that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. Okay. And what was that? What was that? That was meat. That was the consequences. Okay. That was the judgment from the Most High, which is being met, man. Okay. So any dynamic or anything you want to, rage about on the internet, on your little soapbox, just go to Romans 1. Everybody thought they had it figured out. Go to Isaiah 24, which I just read. Everybody feeling they got the answers and excluding Yahweh, our Heavenly Father, while Yahweh Shah, his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So now you're just gonna deal with it, man. Okay. Some people are gonna die, and you're gonna die alone, so-called die alone anyway, man. The Lord ain't doing no 2-for-1, man. You judged solely on you, your actions, and your behaviors. Okay? But the Lord did design the woman for the man. Okay? The Lord made it to where it is good for man not to be alone. He designed the woman to be a helpmeet. And yes, the man is to treat the woman like the church. Likewise, the woman is supposed to what? She's supposed to she is supposed to value that of her husband, man. He's supposed to, your union. You're supposed to cleave unto one another. Yeah. So hey, you want to interfere with nature, bro? You're gonna get terrible results. Keep interfering with nature and see how your judgment is gonna be met, man. But that's all I have on this. I just want to touch on that. That was on my spirit. But also with that, once again, call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Waharakodash Brakatham. Once again, I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Achion pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aquath out there listening. Shalom.